Hello guys, how's it going? Welcome to another market forecast. And let's start with a review of what happened yesterday. So yesterday, as you guys can see, we had a very bearish day, all right? Um, the price has finally reached this outside liquidity right here on the daily time frame, right? And basically, I was expecting yesterday's price to actually um, go back into this fair value gap right here so I could sell. It would actually be a nice selling opportunity, but price never got into that zone again. Price rate went straight down to this sell side liquidity right here, and that's what happened yesterday. That was the bias, and that's it. So let's go to today's market forecast on DXY. If we open the daily time frame, we're gonna see that the price has also reached a buy side liquidity right here, just like your USD has reached a sell side liquidity there on a daily time frame. So now I am breaking down the market's narrative and behavior so I can get the market forecast for the day. And just for notes, if we go to the weekly time frame, we're going to see that there is a huge fair value gap right here on the weekly time frame, which also exists on the daily time frame. Let me just mark it out for you guys. And this one on the daily time frame wasn't filled. All right. I'm actually going to erase this one and just leave this one so it's more polished, right? Um, so let's break down the price right now. So basically, we've reached this sell side liquidity right here, which may show as a signal today that the price may start going lower on DXY just a little bit, maybe to pull back or maybe to revert the trend. I don't believe in a trend reversal. I believe price will still go up on DXY. So my overall bias on DXY will still be bearish. So we have to pay attention into some small details right here. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. If we go to the 4-hour time frame, we're going to see that there are two fair value gaps right here, one above the other, and there's also an order block right here. All right. So, of course, if you guys are really paying attention, you can see that I am expecting price to go lower today on DXY. But anyways, let's just move on. All right. So the thing is, on the 1-hour time frame, there is a fair value gap here. Okay. So if I see a displacement of this lower low here, all right, I am going to sell DXY. I'm not trading DXY, but I would sell DXY. Look for selling entries, right? Okay, because I would consider this fair value gap as being respected. Otherwise, if I see this high taken out, I will consider buying it, right? So everything is going to depend on how price reacts to this fair value gap, to this sell side liquidity, and to this buy side liquidity. That's why I put an eye there. So I have to keep an eye on how price behaves on that zone, right? And basically, regarding probabilities, I think it's very likely that price food will pull back today, all right, on DXY. So we may see a bearish day on DXY, at least part of the day, until we reach either one of those zones, right? This is what I think will happen most, especially because this fair value gap here is also with an order block with it. All right, so I think it's very likely that price will do a pullback on this zone. But I would like to see either this low being taken out or this high being taken out. All right, and if I see this fair value gap being respected, maybe if I see a good setup, I will start trading before it reaches this outside liquidity, because we already had a market structure shift. Just a nice displacement here. So price would just continue this movement down, which means respecting the fair value gap and taking out this as liquidity. So any entry I see between those between this range, I'm gonna take it, right? But I want to see how this candle closes actually the first hour of our trading day, and then I will take action and maybe decide if I'm gonna sell or wait for the price to come to the sell side liquidity, or wait for the price to go to that buy side liquidity. Either way, anyway. So those are my probabilities for DXY. I don't really think that price will go straight towards this buy side liquidity here, since we have a favorable gap right here on the 30-minute time frame, actually 1 hour time frame. Just change it right here. All right, and if you guys pay attention, we're gonna see that we have an order block here. All right, bearish order block. Oh, let me just change it. Bearish order block, visibility, 3 hour, everything. Okay, we have a bearish order block right here. So it means that this is a nice zone for price to do a pullback right here and actually start moving lower to then start moving higher. So my bias for the day, right, for now, it's undefined. All right, I want to see how price reacts to this zone right here. And if it doesn't respect it, my bias for the day on DXY will be bullish. If it breaks out this buy side liquidity zone, my bias for the day will be bullish on DXY, meaning bearish on Euro USD, right? But if we don't see that, if we see price maybe going straight to this zone or just the tip of it being touched on this order block and fair value gap, which actually is happening right now, as you guys can see, this bearish order block was already touched. Price has already reached into it, but I want to see price going a little bit deep in that, all right? And then we'll maybe see a movement lower, right? So regarding DXY, that's it. Let's go to Euro USD. Okay, on Euro USD, we had a nice movement down yesterday, and we reached this outside liquidity right here. But let's go to the 4 hour time frame. Since yesterday was a day without basically any pullback, it usually leaves a lot of fair value gaps. Okay, so basically the scenario here is basically the same as CXY. We have two fair value gaps right here, and we also have an order block right here. All right. So I strongly believe that the price will do a pullback now. All right, going to this fair value gap on the 4 hour time frame, and maybe it will go further into this fair value gap here on also on the 4 hour time frame. But I strongly believe that price will do that. It is very likely for price to do what the blue arrow is selling, right? But there's also a possibility that price will take out this sell side liquidity right here, right down below, and continue to go lower, right? Let me just mark it down here, buy side liquidity. Okay. So if you pay attention, you'll see that we have an order block right here. Okay. On your 1 hour time frame, sorry, I forget to tell you guys when I change time frames, because I usually don't pay attention when I change it. But anyway, it's automatic already. But if we hide all marks, we'll see that this fair value gap was already filled. It wasn't completely filled, it was halfway filled, but it was filled. If we see DXY, that's not the case, but price has already touched the order block, right? And a little bit of the tip on the fair value gap, which is enough for me to consider if on Euro USD this fair value gap was a bit filled, at least enough for me to take a buy entry here. Like I wouldn't take it, but if I would, this would be the reaction I was looking for. All right, on this parallel gap right here between this candle and this candle on a 1 hour time frame. So maybe we'll see price taking out this buy side liquidity and actually going higher, right, on EUR USD. And if it goes higher, I believe that price will stop either here or here, right? Basically, we would have this range to work with, all right here, and then that's what I would have to do. But it means that if this happens, my bias for today will be bullish on EUR USD. But otherwise, if this fair value gap is not respected, then I will expect this social liquidity to be taken out and EUR USD will have a bearish bias for the day. All right, let's mark out the numeric open just for notes, because actually I forget to map it on the market forecast, and I just map it after. But anyways, I got a crazy habit to map it right here. Okay. New York open, all right. New York midnight open. Okay. All right. So we have this midnight opening price, and actually the scenario I would like to see, and the scenario I would take most advantage of, I think both I can take a lot of advantages. So basically I can buy into here, and when we get there, if price provides us a setup, we would have a nice range down, right? Basically 50 pips. So yeah, so that's very good. But also we have to consider that we are on a premium on the market right now, since the New York midnight open is below the price right now. We are on a premium on a bearish day, if you consider a bearish day. So I have to mark out that I will only consider bearishness once price has actually taken out this sell-side liquidity, or start reacting to this fair value gap on a 4 hour time frame to start moving lower. All right, but until then, my bias will be undefined. All right, so let me just do a little bit of recap of the actual bias. If we take out this sell-side liquidity, this buy-side liquidity, my bias will be bullish until this zone. All right. Otherwise, my bias will be undefined until we take out this sell-side liquidity. Okay, so my bias will be bearish. Okay. But if price reaches this zone right here, my bias will tend to start being bearish. Okay. So that's for the market forecast for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please, if you liked the video, please consider leaving the like button down below. And if you like the channel's content, please subscribe to it. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a nice trading day and be careful. And actually, I forgot to talk about the news today. So we actually have 10 a.m. news on Euro USD, but we also have a holiday on Germany, right? And this may mean a low liquidity today, a low volume trading on this day. But since it's only one country in Europe, I don't know how it will affect the market. We also have to consider that Germany is a very influential country in Europe, so it may have a more impact than I'm thinking right now. But anyway, let's just keep an eye on the market and see what it provides us. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye, and trade safe.